believe it would be a very good idea to talk to your physician and tell them, I want to use these fatty acids. But again, studies show that up to 5,000, which is 5 times higher doses than my recommendation, absolutely perfectly safe, not just from the perspective of blood thinning effect, but other potential complications. Yeah, I'm sorry. This, ma'am, you refer next, and then I will come back.
What happens if you are allergic to fish?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure. Well, let me answer this way. In clinical practice, when patients or when treatment for patients was designed to increase their EPA and DHA, and they found the patients being allergic to fish-derived, they did use algae-derived, okay, EPA and DHA. So I don't know whether that will work for everybody, okay, but there is some evidence that shows that the algae-derived EPA and DHA is not as allergenic as the fish-derived. Yes. Ma'am?
Oh, can you eat seaweed? Like
yes.
raw seaweed?
Yes. So, yeah, I will be actually talking about seaweed, I think, either tomorrow or on Thursday. But you will not be able to get enough of EPA or DHA from the seaweeds. Okay? There is another benefit for seaweeds, which I will be discussing again either tomorrow or next day. But you will get some small quantity, not enough though. Yeah. Did you have some?
It seems like it's strongly related to the algae, the fish consuming the algae.
Yes.
They all have that in common, pretty much.
Yes. Yeah. The reason why fish is a good source of EPA and DHA because they eat the algae, but this is their staple diet. They eat it all the time. That's why it's concentrated, And the algae. Yes. Go ahead.
I'll let you finish with that. Do you have any recommended brands or anything?
Okay. Good question is, do I have a recommended brand? Remember what I said yesterday? The same applied today. Okay? Look for the dose and choose the cheapest one. Why pay more? That's what I do, honestly.
Do you look for lab certification or anything?
No, I do not. It's more important to do the analysis yourself rather than that. So let me tell you this. I want to add one thing. I'm not endorsing this, but I'm going to add one more thing to what I said. I found that a brand called Diva, okay, that is sold by Swanson, okay, has oftentimes the best deal when I need one, okay? And if you sign up for like a newsletter or some promotional stuff, then you will get free shipping and then there's discounts, But I'm not saying you need to buy this one. Anyone that has the right dose that is cheaper than that one, go for that, The dose is the important, not the brand. Every single supplement manufacturer claims that their ones is the best, Every single one does it, Yes, ma'am.
What's the name of the lab work you said that would show you what
Yes.
the level is?
Okay, what's the name of the lab? It's called the omega-3 index, okay? Dr. Harris, which I mentioned in the context of the Adventist Health Study analysis that is not yet published, he developed a lab. It's called Omega Quantum, I think, if I correctly remember. I can put it on the website tomorrow, if I remember, okay? And you can, what they do is they mail you like a kit, and you put your drop of blood, and you air dry it, then you send it back, and within a few days they send you the results, And I think it's like $20-something, so it's very inexpensive.
And what should the level be?
Excuse me. The level should be above 8%. Yes. Miss Ma'am?
Is there any evidence that this actually, I know it stops decline, is there any evidence that it reverses decline as well?
You mean for using like flax seeds or something?
No,
Or?
the algae for brain atrophy or any of those.
Okay.
Neuro.
Okay, so if I correctly understand your question, is there any evidence that you can actually reverse any potential symptoms that you have? Yeah. So I can think of studies in which the brain atrophy, whether hippocampus or cortex or whatever was gray matter, whatever matter, the atrophy was reduced. But I cannot think of a study in which they actually showed any improvement in symptoms, Having said that, several years ago, I remember kind of in the middle of the semester, I felt tired, I couldn't remember, I felt just kind of overwhelmed, tired. And I participated once in a conference in which a scientist who showed the interaction between the omega-3, EPA and DHA, and the B vitamins, And in addition to B12, I started adding these EPA and DHA, And I was at the point where, in the past when, if you knew me when I was, 30 or something, if I read a phone number one time, I remember it forever, And then I got to the point where, I would read a paper and I wanted to make notes and I had to go a million times because I couldn't remember. And again, I felt tired. I started taking it. And, I'm staying in the Vakasa apartment and they sent me 10-digit code to open the door, It's very annoying, But the very first day I had it memorized, So I can tell you, maybe I'm wrong, but I think I can testify from my own experience that I feel better, that my brain, I believe, works better now versus if I go back several years and without the supplementation. So, yes, sir.
So you mentioned that the total combined DHA and EPA should be 500 to 1,000.
Yes.
What about the proportion of the two?
Well, I think it's a little less important. Again, for algae-derived, you will always have more DHA than EPA. So if I correctly remember, the one that I have right now, it's in one capsule, is, I'll tell you what, are you going to be here tomorrow?
So
I can bring that actually.
I take one,
Uh-huh.
and it's 2 capsules. It's
Yes.
300 DHA.
Yes.
It's an alpha-based.
Uh-huh.
300 DHA, 150.
Yeah, that's oftentimes.
450 total
Yes,
for two capsules.
yes,
Slightly less than
yes. We may be taking the same thing, and sometimes I just use that dose. Other times I add yet another one, so I have more than the 500, So, yeah, you add these doses of EPA plus DHA. You want to arrive at 500, 7, 8 to 1,000.
Okay.
So, yeah, yes, sir. Let me come closer to you.
Seaweed and algae, 2 different things?
Seaweeds and algae, the same thing. So, let's see, seaweed and algae. I think algae are part of the seaweed family, correct? Yeah. 2 different names, I think, for the same product. The same family, but see, I'm not saying here use or eat algae. I'm saying use the oil from the algae, okay? So just like you would have a whole bunch of fish and get just a little bit of oil from that fish, okay? You have a whole bunch of algae and you get a little bit of oil from it. So that oil is just concentrated, isolated product from the algae. Are you with me? Different quality?
Algae oil,
Yes. Well, I'm talking about algae oil, exactly.
different qualities,
I don't know if there's different quality. I don't know that. Yeah.
algae oil.
Algae oil, exactly. Are there any other questions? Yes?
Can I ask you a question about B12? So you
Sure.
mentioned folic acid is actually it can elevate homocysteine levels.
Correct.
What about methylfolate?
Methylfolate would also be detrimental because methylfolate also needs to be activated, contrary to what you read on the supplement or perhaps label. Methylfolate only skips one activation process in its activation pathway. So it will also be impacting, if it's high, vitamin B12 concentration.
B12 supplement that does not have L-methylfolate.
Absolutely. Yes. Ma'am, you had a question. And let me just make sure that we are not